Hey guys, welcome back. As always, I've already made some improvements to the core and to the Enterprise Edition, um, especially on two parts. The first one is on the Enterprise Edition, you will have this analytics new tracked portal user. Like if I'm logged in on the portal, like I am right now, and if I go to categories and I go to page views on my management side, I have now tracking for this user. And same for events. Like if I switch to Spanish, that's an event. So it will trigger here from this portal user. Now, the other thing that I did is regarding themes. Like I want these directory portals to support a lot of themes. But of course, we should support at least one theme for the home route, for the categories route, for the category specific route. This should redirect to category and to the explore route, and of course to the listing themes. And what I did is if you hit Command D, it will open this helper layout, and it basically puts on the URL dev equals to true. My idea here is that since I have like a specific set of views, I also have a specific set of themes, and I can switch between them. Like for example, if I go to explore and hit Command D, and then switch to theme two, I need to implement this theme. Now, if I go to the listing, hit Command D, and go to the first theme that I implemented on the last video, I have these specs, and I will have these specs on every view and on every theme. The idea is that every page or view should at least do these things. Like for example, for the listing header, for the listing view, you should have the header and footer. And I already did that. Well, no, for the header, so this should be unchecked. And if I refresh, this is saved with local storage. So this is just like an improvement for development purposes, like when you're implementing a new theme. So before checking header and footer, and here I have a helper that I can use these components, portal header and portal footer. So I need to go to the listing theme, but on the portal project, listing theme one. I have the portal header, so let's add the portal footer. And let's see if it's reflected. Where is it? Okay, so now we have it. The footer is simply some links and the dark mode toggle and the local selector toggle. Now, I already did this for this theme on this view, so I'm gonna check this. Now, for the listing, we should at least have some basic listing details like the name, description, category name, and I don't have any component for that because maybe for the listings views, the details should be like theme specific, but you should also have like the listing status. Like let me show you, this is a published listing, so this banner shouldn't be here, and the component that I am using is this one, listing status banner. Let's search for that, listing status banner. I'm gonna edit this and say that if it's published, I'm actually gonna return null. Let's comment that success banner, so it doesn't take any space. But let's try with some listings that have another not published status, like this one. And the status that I'm going to support is like draft. So this, if I go to the log network SaaS, it says unpublished. And if I go to pending, it's the same, unpublished. Now let's try it rejected. unpublished, archived, unpublished, and what about published? It's now public. So yeah, the listing status is already on this page, ready. So now let's focus on listing details, name, description, and category name. I already have the category and the name, and actually this listing doesn't have a description. So I'm gonna put net core plus view, svelte, and react. So this is the description. So we already have the name, description, and category name, but this category should be something more appealing. So I'm gonna go to listing theme 1, and instead of having like this, I'm gonna try to implement something better. I'm not sure, like it could be a badge, like BG primary, or not primary, maybe the accent. Well, this is the accent primary, or maybe the category should have its own color. But I don't want to complicate this right now. Oh, and the listing category should have an icon. So let me add that, but it can be null. And actually, maybe I should create a category, a batch. So I'm gonna go to my components folder, and let's see if I already have a batch for something. Well, but this uses the simple batch, which gives it a color, and I don't want a color, but I'm gonna duplicate it and set category batch. And this actually will be a link to the category, to its category page. I need to change my language locally so I can use these quotes. So it's category and then the category. So I need to pass the category here. Category DTO. Well, not the full DTO, just like the simplest things, because on the listing DTO, I don't have everything. So I'm gonna copy paste this item. Yeah, like that. So we can use item slug, and then this is a link. So, well, but let's decorate it like with BG primary, padding of 1, rounded medium, border, and the default border color, and then maybe small text. And now we can see if the item has an icon. And I think I already did that for the listing CTA button. So I'm gonna copy paste this. If the category has an icon, I'm gonna put it because it can be an image or an SVG and with this size. And so the icons should be square. I don't know if I should allow for not only square icons, maybe I should. And now the title is set, but the title on the category is name. So let's see how this category badge looks. Let's use it on the theme number 1 for the listings. Here, the item is data listing category. Let's import it and see how it looks. I'm gonna remove this div and see how it looks. Okay, so the link is not displaying correctly. So maybe this should be wrapped inside a div. I'm not sure, but I don't want the padding here. So maybe inside the link. Otherwise, I will have like a space where the link doesn't work. Okay, but it's taking full width. And actually, since it's BG primary, it's black in this theme. But I think that's okay. Primary foreground. And I'm gonna return to having it inside a div so it doesn't go full width. Okay, so it still goes to full width, and it's having this weird thing that it goes to the bottom. I'm gonna fix that later. So maybe this, I will set it to a fixed width of 32 and make it a flex. So if I have yeah, it looks really weird. I'm not sure why it's taking like full width. I'm gonna close this for a second and think how should be displayed. Let me go to, there's an AI for that, and go to tool, data length, which is my product. So where's the category here? Here. So it's like a super small batch besides the author. And I'm not supporting authors at the moment. So I'm not sure what to do. Let's see if here I can put like width 10 just to see how it looks. And let's center the text center, and add some padding. Well, the padding is already there. Px of 2 and py 1. And with auto. Okay, so now it's working correctly. It's the category C#. And if I click here, it redirects me to the category theme, number 1, the default one. Now, what else? We have the name, description, and category name. Okay, now the listing status and the listing CTAs. Let's go to SaasRock, because this one has CTAs. So these CTAs on this layout maybe should be where are the CTAs on theme 1? Right at the right side of the listing name. So I'm gonna put this inside a flex, make it flex item center, and with spacing in case the name is really long. And I'm actually going to test that in a second. By now, and maybe more spacing. And I'm not liking that this is full width. So maybe I'm gonna make it like max width of 3 and center it. It still looks weird, so maybe much shorter. Now the buy buttons should be like this, justifying between, well, not here, so this is all the way to the right. And what if I have like many buttons? Let me try that. Test. Oh, but this is invalid. Test. And I guess I should make the title or the icon required. So I'm gonna fix that right now. Listing table. Where's the form? Listing CTA preview, no. So I think I need to overwrite the onSubmit and check if title and icon are not set. Toast the user with an error. Title or icon is required. I'm not sure what's the best line for this, and return. Okay, so let's try if this works. It's still compiling, yeah. So I'm gonna hit enter with no title or icon is required, but I get this weird URL parameters. So I'm gonna prevent default here and try again. Whoops. Test. Prevent default, title and icon. Where's the title defined here? Prevent default, maybe here, or is it stop propagation? Let me try that. Or is it not reflecting the changes? Let me test again. Okay, now it's working. And test. And this, let me change it to secondary, accept, and add some more. Test 2. And this, I will use an icon instead. So that icon is okay. And final, but really long CTA button. And this as 30. Now let's save this and refresh here. So now we have a problem that the CTAs are truncating. I'm not sure if this is the best place to put them. So what I'm thinking is that listings should have like a fixed width of, fixed length of CTAs. So this doesn't happen. But if the CTA is really long, maybe that's fixed with going back to making the screen wider. So let's see how it looks here. Okay. So I think that size is okay. Now we have these, what are these? The framework is a listing global attribute, and the UI library is a React.js specific property attribute. And I'm not sure if I should have like batches like here. This one is BG primary and these are BG secondary. And let me change the color to orange and to dark and see how it looks. So this doesn't look really bad, but let me change the properties with some, I think I need to change the text, secondary foreground, and make it smaller, like SM. And more padding. And actually, I need this to be like built with more space between the category and the attributes, but it didn't reflect it, so maybe with padding. Okay, so this doesn't look bad. And where should the image go? I think below. I'm not sure, because this may have an icon. So let's go to listings and put the SaasRock icon and actually remove these tests and change the title to saasrock.com because it looks better, and remove the icon. And yeah, like that. And I don't like this theme, so I'm gonna go back to blue and light, just so I have a color. Okay. Well, this is weird. The primary CTA may get confusing with the category. So maybe the category shouldn't be this color. maybe the category, like I said before, should have its own color. But let's try changing the category icon for React. This is redirecting wrong, so going to the categories index page, it's redirecting to listings, and it should be to categories. For category, let's try with categories. Yeah, it's categories, and here I'm gonna use a logo, SVG repo, and I'm gonna search for React and copy this one, put this SVG on this page and put it here. Let's refresh. It's not taking the icon, so I think that on the portal, that's the thing that I added on the DTO that wasn't added on the database. So I'm gonna search for slug true, where I'm retrieving the category slug, and then put icon true. And what else? Get all my listing slugs. Yeah, not here, but get listing here. We don't have an icon here. Let me check my schema. Category. Is it image instead of icon? I need to go to category form to see what is it. I think it's logo. Yeah, it's logo. So here on the listing DTO shouldn't be icon, it's logo. And here it's logo true. And where else should I have it? I think just that. Now I can use, I need to change the category badge as well. So it's logo, not icon. Okay, let's refresh. Now we have this icon, but it looks weird. So this should be a flex in case title and icon are set. Item center, space with 1. Okay, but still looks weird with this flex auto. I mean with auto. So I think, let me debug this like this instead of changing it over and over. So I have this flex that is taking full width, and it shouldn't. Actually, it's width 32. So I'm not sure why is this going full width. Let me think. With what if I put the width here? Okay, but now I lose. This is full width. This is still full width. With 32 with auto. Yeah, this is a freaking weird error. So instead of it's not even putting React. It's like here, the icon. So I'm gonna put it beside the attributes. So it's like flex wrap. I'm gonna undo my changes and go to the theme and put the category badge inside this flex along with the attributes. So this way it's still having that error. Okay, so I found the error and it was right on this category badge because this was missing with auto. Like if I remove it, it will take the whole SVG width, which is unset. So I needed to set it to auto so it shrinks. Okay, what else? I may not have to put like framework and remix, but I'm not sure. This may look nicer, like, let me actually put the category back outside and put it like max width of, what if I put auto? Yeah, no, I think I need to put it here. But I was going to say, like, instead of having it like this, where I say the property title, divide it into rows, like this way. And on the first, make it super small, make it extra small, and make it lowercase or uppercase, and make it like muted foreground. Framework remix, okay, but this shouldn't be with the background. Let's see, let's remove all those classes. And now let's put this in yeah, I'm not liking how this looks. Let's put it outside. This doesn't look bad, but we need a little bit more spacing between them, and maybe not uppercase because it still cover a lot of space. Maybe lowercase. Framework UI library. Yeah, this doesn't look bad. Maybe we need like more accent on the actual values, like medium. Yeah. Now, what else? What if we have an image, which is not required? So I'm going to go to the listing and go to media and put the logo of SaasRock and put the image. And the image, I'm not sure if I should change it to cover instead of image, because this is a thumbnail. It's square, and this cover is like really long. So I'm not sure what to put for the user, or maybe I should put here cover and then have another property called thumbnail. Because another thing is that if I'm gonna put the logo here, should I put thumbnail or the logo? Like this logo or the thumbnail? I think the logo, and the image should be the cover. So I'm gonna put here the cover. And if I refresh, this is stored in Supabase. So let's go to here. And maybe we could use this cover to put it full width. So I'm gonna put this image before everything and actually make it absolute, or yeah, let's see how it looks. Absolute instead full. Oops, not like this. I'm not sure how to do this. Let me put it here, because I want to put it like on the background. And I think I have this hero. Where did I have directory hero? Home theme 1. No, where I had like an image. Absolute. Maybe it's this one, but this had like an input. But I'm gonna copy this to see how it looks, and it requires the parent div to be relative. So I'm gonna try that. So this should be relative, and put this class name here. Okay, so we have the cover, but it's taking all the space because it's insetting it. And I think that shouldn't be the case because it's hiding everything else. So yeah, I'm gonna think of a better way, but for now, I'm just gonna put it below the title and description here. Let's add some border. I'm not sure if the border should be inside the image tag or on the div. I'm gonna try that. Border with two, border muted foreground, or border muted, and rounded of large. It doesn't look bad. Maybe a little bit of padding. So we have the description with more space. And this doesn't look bad. But maybe the image. No, I think it looks good. But what if I click? No, I think we need like a default listing property called like HTML content. So instead of having to fill all the remaining space with properties, like have like a main content. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna go to a listing, and here we should have like a specific dedicated input group or settings group for that kind of content. So going back to the directory project, I'm gonna put, and I'm actually gonna finish the video on this topic after implementing this. So the first thing is I'm gonna stop the server and go to the schema and look for listing and put below the image HTML, because it will be HTML, whether it's marked down or what you see is what you get. So I'm gonna do the same thing for the portal, so I don't have to pull the changes from the Git. I always do this. If I change something on the schema on the parent project, I update it on the portal. So now I'm gonna update the database on both sides because I may need it here as well. And since I made it this nullable, I didn't have any problem. So I'm gonna go to listings, db, server, and where I create the listing, below the logo or the image, I'm gonna put HTML, string or null, and put it here. And same for updating the listing, HTML, and do the same thing on the portal. Logo can be string or null, HTML string or null. This way I don't have to publish to Git and pull the changes here, because if you take a look at here, I'm actually my base is my base project, so I could do it, but instead of pushing all these changes on both projects, I'm doing it file by file, only on those files that I know I'm gonna use on both sides. So on the listings new page, maybe we shouldn't have the HTML set right there, so I'm gonna put null. And on the listing ID route, I'm gonna add another section because we have listing here and we have a separator and the media here. So I'm gonna add another section below the listing called listing HTML, models listing HTML, and a separator between them. So I need that translation. Translation of listing, my object, and put HTML here. HTML content, and do the same thing for Spanish listing. I don't have status on English, statuses. I don't think I do, so I'm going to copy that from here. Here, we need the statuses titles. And yeah, I think that's it. Contenido. I'm not sure if HTML is the best. I'm going to put content instead of HTML because the users may not be technical, so they should be content. And we should have a form that only updates the HTML. And this is of type, let me see how I'm doing it on the dynamic properties, because I have a specific form for that, content form. So I think I could reduce this, because this gives me what you see is what you get editor or markdown, but I'm not sure if I should put this in another file. I don't think so, because it may be specific for a listing HTML content. So I didn't feel something. Let me see. So let's take a look at the other forms. And here we have this. I'm going to copy this and put it here and remove the properties that I don't need, like logo, and just put content form. And the prefix, I don't need the prefix. Content property. Yeah, I need to change this because I only need the value. I may need the name for this specific property, which is listing. And where it's the input, it's content right here. So I'm gonna put the name, and we need to import the novel editor and put the name as name. So let's go back and put here name HTML. The value will be HTML, but the item doesn't have that property, so I'm gonna add below image, save it, and try again. This can be null, so I'm gonna put empty in case it doesn't have any value. Now we need the action for that, so I'm gonna add it here. Else if action edit HTML, I'm gonna get the HTML can actually be empty, so I'm gonna put this like this. Okay, so it's ready. Let me see. So we have this, what you see is what you get editor. I'm not sure if I should have like more space between that. And we have markdown in case we need like let me show you. If I copy all the hero section on the what you see is what you get editor, it looks weird like that. But if on the markdown I add this div, it doesn't look that bad. Let me show you. I'm gonna save this and use it here on the portal. On the theme number 1 for listing. At the end, we are going to add all the content. We need to update the DTO to get the HTML as well. But I'm thinking that the HTML shouldn't be retrieved on the home route API because it may take a lot of space. But let me start this project and see if it works. Okay, so it's not working, so the div wasn't saved. I'm gonna see why. Going back here, the property, I call it HTML, and I'm getting that property here and updating the listing. And it's being updated, yeah. So I'm gonna log what I'm getting from HTML just to see if I retrieve at least something. And it's not logging, so the action is not called like that. Edit media. Oops. So I may have deleted the logos. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put the logos back. This is icon and this is cover. And I'm gonna put the markdown that I copied from here. And refresh. Okay, so now this is working. But of course, we don't want the users to set like do follow links in case we don't want to, like this one. So maybe I should add like a function that retrieves all the targets, no, all the rels, no, all the A tags, like this one, and remove it like, or change it like no follow. But for now, I think this is okay. And I think I'm gonna stop the video right here. Just let me take a look at some minor things. So we made we put the name, the description, the CTAs, the cover image, the category, the global listing attributes, the category specific attributes, and the HTML content. Oh, I just remembered. On the homepage, I don't want the HTML content. So let me show you why. If I click here, we have this super long object, and on the long run, that may be a problem because these listings will have its HTML super long, like this one. Well, I guess it's not a problem because it's just text. But I'm gonna change it because I don't need it on this page, so I shouldn't retrieve it, right? So on the home API, on the portal home API, on the interface of loader data, I have this listings DTO. But maybe I should create a separate listing DTO, like export type listing details DTO, and the base DTO shouldn't have the HTML, and the with details has it, like this. And here I'm gonna update the get listings, so I'm getting listing DTOs. So I need to manually select all the things that I need. So instead of having like include category like this, I'm gonna change it to select. And this will be a problem, but it will be better for long-term support. Like instead of selecting all of the object. So this is expecting a listing DTO, and I'm not getting the full object, so it's missing by portal user, created ad, updated ad, portal ID, and HTML. Created ad, updated ad. Let me see on the listing detail what I need. Description, portal ID. Well, I actually should have done this in the first place, except for the category, which is joined, and the CTAs. So for the CTAs and category, I'm going to remove it. And whenever I have this, I'm going to set true and a comma. Okay, so why is it complaining? It's missing the following properties: ID, created ad, updated ad. I'm still not sure. What is this expecting? Row DTO. Let's see. Row to DTO. Okay, so it's expecting a listing, a full listing. So this may be expecting a listing DTO. And we need a rel. Rel doesn't exist in listing DTO. So I'm going to check if rel well, I'm going to leave it like that. Return. And the status are incompatible. So I'm going to set like this. Let's do it's of type string. Now I think, well, I'm gonna fix these TypeScript errors later, but I'm just gonna show you that if I refresh the home page and inspect the JSON object again, I shouldn't have HTML now, and this is better. I'm gonna paste it on debug bear, so you can see. What if I select the content, HTML, and what if I don't? So this is if I don't use it, 9 kilobytes. And if I select it on the listings DB server, if I select it, was it here, HTML true, I'm going to copy the object again and paste it again. So it's almost double. So imagine for 1,000, well, 100 listings. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know in the Discord server if you want to see a specific feature for your listings.